Welcome back to Red Devils Talk, everyone. Me, Session, and of course, a crazy couple of days has passed since the last time we spoke. And we had a 2-0 loss to West Ham at the London Stadium. We'll speak about that. More recently, we had a very, very good win against Aston Villa 3-2. Hojlund getting his first Premier League goal. We'll speak about that as well. And during all of that, Sir Jim completes his 25% deal of being in charge of Manchester United's footballing structure in its entirety. We'll speak about those three things in today's video. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and of course, thank you for the support that you guys do show towards the channel. I hope you guys had a good Christmas. I certainly did not, but I'm just being honest, and it's not as good as it is for everyone out there with regards to Christmas and this particular time. So for those who didn't have a good Christmas, I definitely do understand how you feel, but let's focus on Man United right now. So let's talk about the West Ham loss first. To me, that game was also just as winnable as we did against Aston Villa because we had the chances in the first half. Garnacho getting an opportunity, various other opportunities as well. And if we put those chances away, if we are more clinical, we probably win that game. But the one difference between that game and Aston Villa was McTominay not being in the team because he played against West Ham and you saw the holes in midfield, and that caused us quite a few issues as it has been throughout the season. But against Aston Villa, we had Eriksen, Bruno, and Mainu in midfield, and we played football. We were able to play through the lines. We didn't feel pressed the way Aston Villa were pressing us. But West Ham certainly played the way they wanted to play. They sat back, sat deep, got the ball, countered. That is the way West Ham and David Moyes plays. And we did not seem like we wanted to win that game. It looked again like one of those performances where the players don't care. They're trying to throw Ten Hag under the bus, trying to get him sacked. And then against Aston Villa, the way it started, you're thinking to yourself, are we going down the similar pathway here? Does this feel like another loss? Because that's the way it looked. But we were dominating the ball. Against West Ham, we also had good moments of domination with the ball, but we weren't clinical. We didn't capitalize on their opportunities. We didn't pass the ball enough. And West Ham certainly didn't feel that worked. We weren't at our best. We had the likes of Rashford coming on and looking like they didn't even want to be there. But against Aston Villa, he puts in a good performance. Such a contrast between the West Ham loss and the Aston Villa win. And you think to yourself, why are we this inconsistent? You have the injuries that are an excuse. You have the lack of players who are able to play a certain way, i.e. Ten Hag's style of football. A lot of people are saying that he doesn't have a style of football, but I saw a style of football against Aston Villa. I saw a style of football against Nottingham Forest. I saw a style of football against the likes of City, Liverpool. He's trying to execute his style of play, but the players we have are not good enough to do so. You know, if we had the likes of Eriksen in that game starting against West Ham, we probably would have dominated the ball more like we did against Aston Villa because we have players like Mainu, Eriksen, Bruno, Evans and Varane who were able to pass out from the back. We saw exactly how good we were, and if we had Luke Shaw against Aston Villa, we probably would have had a much better left-hand side because we know what he gives us from left back. West Ham's game for me was kind of a throwaway. And the reason why I say it was a throwaway is simply because against West Ham, you could see that some of those players did not want to be there. They were once again cowarding away from having a good performance. But against Aston Villa at home, you saw a difference. You did see a different team spirit. And as much as West Ham is also a team that is challenging for the top six, etc., you have to understand that in terms of the way they play, we kind of played into their hands. We didn't be as aggressive as we were against Aston Villa. And had we been, we probably would have won the game. But there wasn't a sense of belief. Now, why was there no sense of belief against West Ham, but a sense of belief against Aston Villa, especially in the second half? And I want to speak about Aston Villa right now because it was a very good game. A complete contrast from West Ham, as I said. the way we played the ball, the way we pressed together, the way we stayed defensively compact. And besides going 2-0 behind for the crap goals that we gave away, how we are giving free kicks away in and around our box and it keeps on resulting in a goal is abysmal. Once again, we commit an error, a foul on the outside, Bruno, and McGinn's ball just floats in. Now you can argue Onana could possibly come out, try and catch that. You could argue someone should try and header that, but nobody does nothing. And for the second goal of Dendoncker, it's even worse. Nobody at the far post, and literally Longley just heads the ball back into a dangerous area, and nobody's on Dendoncker as well. We are absolutely crap defending set pieces. But we still were on the ball. We still dominated Aston Villa. I think in terms of a performance, this was one of our better performances this season, simply because we were controlling the game. The likes of Bruno, Eriksen, Mainu, Varane, Evans were doing excellently well for us to play through the lines. And because we could play through the lines, the likes of Garnacho, Rashford, who also had a good game, were able to run in behind, get the ball and play it in. We saw that in the second half especially. Now in the first half, if we are clinical, because we had chances before West Ham went 2-0 ahead. We could have been ahead. We should have been ahead. Because the likes of Garnacho should pass the ball more. Yes, he had up to 4 shots in the game, scored 2 goals from that, and he scored 3, if you count the one that was ruled out for offside. But he should pass the ball more, because if you look at the goal that got the win, Hojlund's goal, his first Premier League goal, I'm so happy for him. I was absolutely buzzing for him. I didn't really and could not see to watch the game, but from what I seen afterwards, watching the game, not live, but watching the game, I could clearly see that Hojlund was making the right runs, but Garnacho, Rashford were not playing the ball to him, and they themselves were trying to go for goal. And yes, they at times hit the target, at times missed, but with more passing of the ball, there were other runners, there were other players. Bruno, an excellent performance, but did give the ball away quite a lot. He was, running, not stopping, tackling, pressing, playing the ball, but there were quite a few moments where he didn't play the ball the way I thought he could. He could have taken a bit more care with it. Garnacho got man of the match, but for me, man of the match was probably between Mainu and Evans. Evans was absolutely excellent at the back. We don't have to speak about Rafael Varane because we know his qualities and we know that he's our best centre-back when fit. But Evans, after coming back from Leicester City and seen as this backup bit part player for this season after he got his 1-year contract, every time he has played, we've had a very good defense. You can't argue with that. He's been absolutely world-class when playing. And whether that is because of his experience, whether that's because of him playing already at a high level at a young age when he played under Sir Alex and winning titles, that all counts right now. And him and Varane next to each other were excellent. The 2 goals we gave away were crap to give away. But at no given point was it Onana or Evans' fault. So the way we came back showed a huge fighting spirit. But that is the way we should be playing every single game. We should be showing that particular type of speed, aggression, quality on the ball, pressing when we don't have it, trying to set traps for opposition so that we can counter them and counter press them to get opportunities like we did against Aston Villa. We stopped them from playing. They won Arsenal, they won Chelsea, they won City, and whether those games were at home, the point is we won Aston Villa, who could have gone joint top of the league. And that is testament to the way we played and the way Ten Hag set the team up. Now, of course, you might think having less legs in midfield because Eriksen is there, he can't run as much. But because of their ball playing and technical skills, Mainu, Bruno and Eriksen were doing quite well in midfield. We definitely controlled the game from start to finish, other than those 2 set-piece goals that we gave away. So, moving forward, we probably should stick with that particular starting 11. We play Nottingham Forest next, with Anthony Elanga starting to do well. They won Newcastle, at St. James's Park. So them at their home ground in our next game this weekend will not be easy. But the way we came back from behind against Aston Villa, the spirit and the fire that was shown when Hojlund scored, I think it was so much relief for everyone in the stadium, for Hojlund especially more so, and for us as fans. We literally wanted him to score, and he deserves it. He's worked so hard to get that goal, and he deserves that goal. So that is testament to him being in the right place at the right time, which he has been doing, but the ball just hasn't been getting to him. And you see, if we play the ball, if we cross the ball, we actually are able to create opportunities that can result in goals. Look at Garnacho's goal. A ball through from Bruno. Brilliant play at that. And it gets played to Garnacho, and that one was offside. The second one, much more similar. Played across the face, and Garnacho scores. Simply because we are passing the ball more when we are in the final third. No trying to shoot from impossible angles or trying to beat 2 or 3 players and then shooting. We need to pass the ball more. We need to cross the ball more. That is exactly what we are needing to do. Just play that extra pass to the person running in late or the person that is open, one pass extra. We will get ourselves in much better goal scoring opportunities if we continue to pass the ball well. You see, Ten Hag cannot be sacked. I've said this before. He needs to be the man to stay. And Sir Jim has made it clear via Fabrizio, and I'll soon start speaking about his 25% deal that has been completed. The club made a statement about that, and the club have confirmed that he will be the Ineos, his company, will be owning and dealing and being delegated the footballing structure of Manchester United. He's already brought Jean-Claude Blanc as the CEO, who we have spoken about and is absolutely world-class. And to go from the likes of Richard Arnold and John Murtagh to Sir Dave Brailsford and Jean-Claude Blanc, those two have excelled in every aspect of what they have done in terms of, one, trying to be part of something great at an elite high level. We know Sir Dave Brailsford was wonderfully showing his marginal gains, which is finding that small advantage and pushing beyond it in order to reach a level that others haven't reached. And we know Jean-Claude Blanc, what he did at PSG, what he did at Juventus, and him being our CEO now and working with Sir Dave Brailsford and potentially bringing in Dan Ashworth from Newcastle and Paul Mitchell as footballing directors and heads of recruitment. We are going to be constructing a very, very good footballing structure since those appointments were made. It might only be 25%, but with them in power and with them getting what they need to do done, we certainly will have a much better footballing structure. Better players will be coming through at not at expensive rates, not high salaries, but players that are quality. And if you look at Ragnick with the likes of Alvarez, etc., that he wants to get, those are the types of players you would see now come through, possibly through Dan Ashworth, Paul Mitchell, Jean-Claude Blanc and his connections, etc. And in the transfer window, it might be seen that we won't be doing anything, but I'm sure that Sir Jim, Jean-Claude Blanc and Sir Dave Brailsford will be doing what they do behind the scenes to ensure that we get something done in January. But they are good, fantastic appointments. That shows a bit of positivity, shows us going in the right direction, and that is good. That leaves us with a mindset of prominence, providence and promise going forward for Manchester United. It was reported by Fabrizio that any decision made on transfers for January and windows to come must be spoken to Ineos and discussed with Ineos and Sir Jim first. Any talk of sacking Ten Hag needs to be discussed with Sir Jim and Ineos first. Ten Hag is going nowhere. It looks like we are moving in the right direction. Winning against Aston Villa the way we did, coming from behind, should give us motivation. It should be something to build upon. We should be going on a much better trajectory now going forward. Getting the likes of Mason Mount, Casemiro and Martinez, etc. back from injury will improve us even more. And with the way we played against Aston Villa, the great good football that we played, it can be executed again if we continue to be that consistent. We need to find some sort of consistency now. We can't win, lose, win, draw, win, lose, draw. We need to find some form of consistency. That is the only way we are going to move forward on the pitch. And the recruitment structure, the footballing structure, will take about 6 to 8 months to actually be in place before we see the fruits of that hard work. So in the new season, you might be seeing the way the new footballing structure works. But for now, we're going to have to grind out this season, do what we can and take it game by game, as Bruno said. But I'll be here to do that with you. I am thankful that you guys joined me in today's video. For those who have watched it this far, thank you. And of course, we have lots to look forward to. The football is coming quick and fast. Nottingham Forest, then FA Cup against Wigan on Monday. So we'll definitely be doing previews for those as the days come along. But I thank you for joining me and have a wonderful day further. Enjoy the holidays. Till we see each other again soon, Red Devils. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.